On this 50-point inspection, I have 5 Bourbon Barrel Imperial Stout. This comes from Boulevard Brewing Company, and they're out of Kansas City, Missouri. This 5 Bourbon Barrel Imperial Stout is 13.3% ABV and is courtesy of Miscellaneous Brewer Reviews. So, thank you very much to Miscellaneous. Now, I don't know if this is just called 5 and then it's a Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout, or if they actually use 5 different bourbon barrels. We'll have to find out more about it later on. Probably will be down in the description of this video when it ends. I won't find out during this inspection. But let's go ahead and crack into this and enjoy it. It is extra cold. I just took it out of the fridge, so we're going to go through this being colder than what the serving temperature should be. And then maybe it will warm up just a little bit. I'm not going to give it that much time, but let's just do it. Alright, so this poured pretty thick oil. Let's see if I can get that cap to stand right there. Beautiful. Alright. So yeah, the head on this is extremely dark mocha. It's almost like melted marshmallow, like with the way that it kind of glides across the top of the beer. Fairly tight-knit bubbles. And wow, I see alcohol legs on the glass. And the beer color itself, we're just going to call this black. Let's get some aromas. I can already pick up some. This does have quite a bombastic aromatics to it, so wow. Yeah, dark fruits for sure. I'm getting like raisin. There's a little bit of this leather type note as well. Chocolate, lots of chocolate. A little bit fudgy. The bourbon is coming through. There is a hint of vanilla, a little bit of this oakiness. Caramel. I'd say just a touch of like an apple, like a little bit of a green apple, which could be coming from the oak barrels as well. It's got a good amount of aromatics. Pretty great smelling beer. Let's dive on in for a swig. Cheers. So it's a pretty full body to this one. It is motor oil-esque. Used motor oil at that. It is, like I said, a bit colder than what I should be drinking this at, but the notes I am getting out of it first sip, it goes through a layer. It's like a layer cake. A little bit of that fruitiness up front, that kind of raisin-esque, a little bit plum-like. Picking up on some oak, getting a little bit of a burn from the alcohol. Chocolate kind of is the tail end of the first sip there. It's got like a medium carbonation to it. There's a leather, picking up on some leather, maybe a little bit of a tobacco type note as well. Caramel. This oakiness with the a bit of that green apple is kind of present throughout. It's almost like flavors from like Johnny Walker Green. I was picking up on a little bit of green apple note when I've had that whiskey. And definitely this is leaving my lips. Quite sticky. 13.3% ABV. It's there. You can taste it. It's not overpowering with the alcohol at all, but a little bit of a burn in the chest. Trying to let this warm up just a bit more, and we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and start scoring it, though. I'll continue drinking on it. If I notice any changes while I'm scoring, I will change the score just a bit, but let's go ahead and enjoy whatever music I add to this one as it's fast forward through time. Okay, so I really didn't give this time to really warm up much, but some other flavor notes that I did get out of it, just a touch of cinnamon. And I didn't mention the bitterness on this. I'd say this it's moderately bitter for an Imperial Stout. Kind of earthy tone, maybe a bit on the piney side with the bittering effect to this one, but overall, I'd say it's fairly well balanced. Maybe just a touch of that alcohol note and the bitterness leaves it just that slight bit unbalanced, but it's not too far one way or the other. A little bit of that sweetness up front with the fruit notes there, the dark raisin plum, the chocolate, vanilla, touch of cinnamon in there, caramel, and then you get some of the other things that are a little bit on the opposite spectrum of that, with like the oak, the green apple type note, which might be coming out of the oak from the barrels, the alcohol, which isn't overly distracting. Yeah, let's go ahead and give you my scores for this. 6 out of 6 for the appearance. The aromatics on this, I'm going to go with a 9.5. One of the things I did start picking out was a little bit of graininess from the malt. I do get a lot more of that green apple note now too. But it did have a nice, like I said, plethora of aromatics. So 9.5 out of 10. Flavors, decent flavors coming from the malts. Also getting flavors coming from the barrel bourbon barrels that these were aged in, or this was aged in, and yeah, so maybe a little ding on the hops with the kind of bitterness at the tail end. Like I said, it's not too bad. It does kind of balance it out, but I think maybe just a touch less of that kind of earthy pininess on the tail end. I would have liked a little bit more, and that kind of leads into the aftertaste a little bit. And yeah, also carbonation on this one. It is a medium carbonation. I think with the full body that it had, maybe a little bit less carbonation would have allowed the mouthfeel to be just a bit smoother to go along with that full body. But for the flavor score, I'm going to give it a 16 out of 19. On the body is that full body, 5 out of 5. And my overall for this one, I'm at a 9 out of 10. So 5 Bourbon Barrel Imperial Stout from Boulevard Brewing Company is going to get a bumpy 45.5 out of 50, which lands it right in between very good and excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll sway this one to the excellent range. We'll round up from that 0.5. I think that's usually what most people would do. On Untappd, out of 2,270 check-ins, this beer averages a score of 4.28 out of 5. So I like this one a bit more than the conglomerate of the average folks, and just a touch more. Not bad. Enjoyed it. Get your hands on it. Try it. Definitely want to thank Miscellaneous Brew Reviews for giving me an opportunity to drink all these wonderful Boulevard beers. This is my last one. So we say farewell to Boulevard. And hopefully I can get some of these great beers again. The Brewer's Choice have been really nice, and limited. I think they have some limited edition ones too. So we've got all the specialties basically, and really enjoyed them. So cheers. Thank you all for watching.